Hey guys, this is Vic Mignogna, Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist, and you're listening to Chibi No Podcast.
Thanks, Vic. This is David the Smash Fan, and this is part 2 now of our top 10 anime of 2017. So let's dive right into it. Number 5 is going to be Recreators, which aired from April 8th to September 16th. Now, the studio who did this anime is Studio Troika, which the only other anime that I know of that they'd done was Al Noah Zero. And this was an original anime. It wasn't based off a manga or light novel as far as I was able to see or that I know of. And man, was it amazing. So it follows the character Sota Mizushino. And basically what he is he's not an otaku. I guess he kind of is. Like, he reads, light novels. He watches anime, but he also is he likes to draw. So he likes to be like a designer, or an illustrator. And basically, what happens is he's watching this anime, and all of us, and it's called Elemental Symphony of Celeste, Vogus Chavalier, and all of a sudden he's kind of transported into the anime. And he sees the main character, Celeste, come in and fighting this new antagonist who is not really in the anime. And the name of the antagonist is Altair. And she is a character based off another anime called a game called World Etude. And so what happens in this show is basically all these characters from anime or from manga, from light novels, they start coming into the world, and it's basically all done and instigated by Altair. And so the whole show is wanting to find out what are her motives of bringing these people in and how to stop it, because what they find out is that it's causing basically an imbalance, and something's going to happen, like an implosion of these two worlds, of this fiction world and the aka real world. And so you have different characters from different genres coming from, like, you have one from the magical girls genre, you have one from a dating sim genre, one from like a fighting game that's like Persona 5, and so it's just tons of these things that they mash up. It is crazy, and it is just awesome to see, because one of the things I really liked about this is that they showed how out of place these characters are in the real world, or from the creator's world. One of the things that I want to show is that there is a magical girl that's in the show, and one of the things that she points out is she's starting to fight one of the other characters, and she's shooting out like these like love beams or like heart attacks or whatever, and it's causing a lot of damage. She's freaking strong, so she creates a lot of damage to like buildings and stuff. And so what's interesting, she becomes aware that this is like a lot of collateral damage and that people are getting hurt, and she's like, what's going on? Like, this doesn't happen in my world. People don't get hurt like this. The destruction isn't like this. And so like you see these characters that are trying to understand what's happening in this world that they're in, that's foreign to them. And so that was awesome, and just great animation, great song for the openings, for both openings and for the endings, and I think it was a really overall really well told story, and the little twist that they had, or the revelation of how Altair got basically became aware or became alive. That was really good. The climactic part in the final episodes of how to defeat her was very interesting. Like it was. To me, it was very original. Whether you liked it or not, I can see why some people would not like it, but I thought it was very original, and it was very creative, and it kept me on the edge of my seat all the way to the end. And again, this was a weird number. It was at 22 episodes instead of 24. But yeah, great anime. Buy it on Blu-ray. I think this was one of the only ones that was running on Anime Strike. I think other ones were, but yeah, if you haven't had time to see this year, go ahead and watch it. You will not be disappointed by this anime. Okay, number 4, Gamers. This anime ran from July 13th to September 28th. And this was done by Studio Pine Jam, who if you're watching the anime that's out right now, at the recording it hasn't finished yet, called Just Because. That's another one that they do. Now, gamers had me laughing on the floor the entire time. I hadn't laughed so much since watching School Rumble, and I love School Rumble. School Rumble, the way that they had, the love triangles and the different people who like who and whatnot. Gamers has that exact same feel. So it focuses around 5 main characters. So you have Keita Amano, you have Karen Tendo, you have Tasuku Uehara, you have Aguri Chiaki, you have Aguri, and then you have Chiaki Hashinomori. And so this is not really focused on the games. The premise of the games is that they all happen to be gamers aside from one person. And so there's a lot of like references to games in the anime. Like if you watch the opening, like they have different games from like from dating sims, from Smash Brothers, which is obviously I'm the Smash fan, so I watched it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. They had from like House of the Dead, Super Mario Brothers, and so like very very centered around the games. But again, those aren't really like the tying points to their relationship. It's just that they're all gamers, just happen to be gamers dealing with love problems. And the comedy in this anime is on point. Like the misunderstandings, the misunderstandings in it is just ridiculous. Like some of them, like yeah, I can see how they misunderstand that. It's just the way that the punchlines are delivered, just awesome. I don't think I've ever rooted so much for a female protagonist ever in my life, for Karen, because like she was my favorite character by far, and like I wanted her to get a happy ending, and she gets it. But man, like she got crap all throughout the anime, like having to doubt herself and misunderstanding everything, and that happened with everyone, and it was just amazing. At some points, like you got to the point where it's like, okay, that's a little much. Like let's hurry it up a little bit. There's one episode, or half of an episode, that I felt was completely unnecessary. And I was focusing on the sister of one of the characters, which had no importance really, and I don't know why they added it in there. But again, that's only half of the episode that they did that. But overall, was just funny. The final episode, which doesn't really do much in terms of moving the story forward, just focused around the people who do like games trying to explain what DLC is to the non-gamer. That was just awesome, because you're like, yep, like DLC, yep, you're paying for more stuff, why don't they give you everything? And it was just awesome. Like just watching that, and hopefully they get a second season. The way that they ended it was there was a lot of resolution again, but it's opened up to where we want to see where these relationships go and who Keita basically ends up with, or who he wants to choose. Like you see him choose who he does. Like I said, you see who he chooses in the anime, but again, there's that possibility that it could be someone else. And so just watch it. Again, if you love School Rumble, you will love this anime. Now to the final 3 of 2017. This was hard for me to do. It was hard to place these ones because I loved these 3 a lot, and now a lot of them were very anticipated for me, and I finally decided on this order, and I feel that it is correct. So, number 3 for bronze of 2017, we have Attack on Titan Season 2. Now, this anime, this season ran from April 1st to June 17th. Again, this is a continuation of Season 1. The studio obviously was WIT, who did the first season. They did Seraph of the End. They did the really well-made Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Wasn't that great, but the style and everything was great. And the Ancient Magus Bride. So this one follows directly where the first one left off, with them defeating the female Titan and finding out that there are these Titans that are in the wall, and trying to figure out what is going on with these Titans, and what secrets are the higher ups hiding from the rest of the people. And so on this one, you get introductions to the Beast Titan. You get revelations from who basically attacked the the wall in the beginning of Attack on Titan of the first season. You have great fights that Eren does in his Titan mode. Again, just an amazing animation as always. I think one of the best ones that I saw was there is this scene where you have this the survey corps, and they're flying over a Titan, and there's like 5 of them, and it looks like they're flying, and then they shoot out their 3D maneuver gear, and they just start doing all their different turns and slashes to try and take the Titan down. Like it was awesome. They never fail to impress me what studio does with the animation that they do in Attack on Titan. And then the climactic end of this series was just amazing. Again, it left so many questions. You're like, what did I just see? And it kept us on the edge of their seats. If you've not read the manga, it kept you on the edge of the seats because you have no idea how it was going to end. Like, it basically, you thought that everyone was going to be gone. Like, that they were just going to kill everyone. And some people do die, obviously, because it's Attack on Titan. So some people that you saw in the first one, in the first season, die. A lot of people get injured, get limbs cut off or eaten off, or so something like that. Like, it was just crazy, and it was sad that it took them 4 years or 3 years, I can't remember, to finally make season 2 and only gave us 12 episodes. That was a big kick in the face to a lot of fans, and some fans were like, this wasn't worth the wait. They should have given us more episodes. And I can see that side. And to compensate for that, at the very end of the last episode, they showed this teaser trailer for season 3, which is going to come out in 2018. And so I'm hoping they do that. And this one might be the longest season. The only reason I'm saying that is because if you watch that little teaser, they show you the manga covers of the volumes of the manga, and it spoiled actually a lot. Like, I really wish they didn't show it because it spoils a lot. And in the very last one you see, and again, this is available for you to see, so it's not a spoiler. The last one that they show you it shows Eren, Mikasa, and Armin in water, and it basically looks like the sea. And so what I'm guessing is that they're gonna air from wherever there's from the start of season 3, where season 2 ended, and they're gonna go all the way to that part, which is it's gonna be like 30 something episodes. That's my what I'm gonna guess. Might be wrong, but they wouldn't have shown you all those if they're not gonna go that far. That'd be stupid. They would have spoiled too much, and to not animate it to that point for season 3 would be just stupid. If you're reading Attack on Titan, I'm pretty sure they're in the final arc right now. Like, if you've read the last chapter, you're like, okay, this is gonna be the final arc. How many chapters are left? I don't know, but this is gonna be the final arc in the manga. So that might be why season 3 is gonna be that long, but we'll see. Now, for runner-up for the silver of 2017 in anime, is going to go to a series that is ongoing from 2015, and that is Dragon Ball Super. More specifically for this year is going to be the Universe Survival Arc. Dragon Ball Super, like I mentioned before, it's done by Toei Animation, who does, One Piece, Digimon Tri, and all that. And this past year, they focused all of their attention on the Universe Survival Arc, which is a freaking long arc. Like, it's still going. It hasn't finished. We still have, I think, until March of 2018. I think they said it's gonna end. And if you've been watching Dragon Ball Super, you realize this arc is probably the best one that they've done. Like, it's pitted all the universes against each other to see who's gonna survive elimination and banishment. From Zeno-sama, and it's been great. Like, granted, it has a lot of flaws in how much time is actually runs its course. Like, in each episode, like when they actually get to the actual tournament, is like one episode is 1 minute almost, and there's like a total of 44 minutes, or is it 41? I can't remember. And so that's kind of kind of odd that they. Well, I mean, it's very Dragon Ball Z-esque. You know, if you remember Namek or Frieza Saga, like they took forever to get done with those episodes. So this one is more bearable because you have tons of great fights that focus mostly on Goku, but then they have different ones for Gohan, for the androids, and they've been hyping up, Goku versus Jiren, which we saw the first part of their fight earlier this year, and then they're gonna fight again, obviously at the beginning of next year at one point. It's just been amazing. Again, like Dragon Ball Super is not very focused on a lot of like plot, especially in this arc. Like it's just full on fighting, and that's fine with me. And if you love watching shonen animes, like this is you're gonna love. You're gonna love the fighting. Again, you might have problems with some of the power scaling that they have in there, which I think everyone who watches Super has problems with. But again, like and you can't forgive those things. Like some of you are like, come on, you got to be better than that. But then the next episode comes up and you're like, oh yeah, that's a whole lot better this fight than the previous one. So Dragon Ball Z has always been a favorite of mine, and I've enjoyed this arc so much, and I can't wait till it gets dubbed. But yeah, it's number 2. Just number 1, I think, is pretty much obvious of which one of what it is. But Dragon Ball Super just could not compete with this next anime because it just blew my mind. Which leads me to number 1, the gold numero uno of Dragon Ball of my top 10 anime list for 2017. And you already know what it is. It is My Hero Academia Season 2, or Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, which ran from April 1st to September 30th. This one is done by another great studio, which is Studio Bones, which obviously have done Soul Eater. They did Fullmetal Alchemist, Normal, and Brotherhood. They did Noragami. They did Oran High School Host Club. They are making bank because they chose to animate this anime. This follows, again, where season 1 picked off, and it goes into the sports festival, which I think for people who saw the end of season 1 weren't expecting the sports festival. They're expecting for them to focus on the new villain that they teased at the end of season 1, which they get to eventually, which was great. It was a little mini arc, but it was a great mini arc that in the manga was amazing to read, and to watch the anime was just amazing. And oh my gosh, did Studio Bones come out with the animation in this season. Like one of the best fights that you got to see animated was Todoroki versus Midoriya. If you watch that one, there's tons of heart in there. There's tons of things that pulled on your heartstrings, and you just I could not believe that those final seconds of that fight. You just like, that was one of the most amazing animations I've ever seen. And at the beginning, Funimation was actually simul-dubbing it at the same time that the Japanese one was coming out. So as soon as it came out in Japanese, it also came out in English, which was a first that I've ever seen. I think aside from Space Dandy, I believe. It was amazing seeing it. Again, the dub is fantastic. Like I don't say this very often, but to me personally, I prefer this dub over the sub, and I love the sub. I think the sub did a great job, but the dub on this one just hits it out of the park. It was amazing. Everyone fits just right. Chris Sabat, who does All Might. Oh my gosh, you are All Might. You are Vegeta. You are Kuwabara. Like every time you do a voice, he owns that voice, and I can't see anyone else being him. Just amazing. And season 2 just was great all around. I think at the very end, the final exam arc was, I think, the low point of the anime, just because you just finished the sports festival, which is very emotional. Like unexpected turns happened here and there. Then you had the fight with Stain, which again had a lot of character development. You saw how they're progressing. You see Midoriya actually progressing and controlling All for One. Oh, sorry, One for All. And then you have you get development in the final exams arc, but it's just like you couldn't really follow up, Stain with that arc. And then you see season 3 is coming out in April, which they're gonna focus on the training camp that the UA students are gonna be doing. And that one, if you read the manga, you know what's gonna happen there, and that is gonna be freaking amazing. I don't know how many episodes they're gonna do for the next season. If they do 26 again, or 24. Where they're gonna finish is a little bit. It might finish the way in terms of hypeness, the way that season 3 and season 2 ended. Again, if you read the manga, you know kind of where they go after the training camp. That's what I'm seeing it happen. Like, I think there's gonna be a little bit of a drop in how invested you will be at the end of season 3, just because if I'm guessing of where they're gonna end up at, it's a great arc, but it's just not as big as the one that it's following, and this one's gonna be the training camp arc. But watch it, and you again will love it. Shonen 100%. Great different quirks from Midoriya, from Bakugo, from Todoroki, Uraraka, even Mineta. Just a great series. I can't stress that enough, that it was a great season, great series that is going to be. It's one of those big three, They passed the torch. Used to be, One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. My Hero Academia is taking one of those spots next to One Piece. So there you have it. That was my top 10 animes of 2017. If there's one on here that you either don't believe should be in my top 10, or that's different than my top 10 that you think I should watch, leave a comment. Leave a comment and I'll watch it and see what I think of it. Again, there's too much anime to watch, and just it's restricted based on my preferences and all that. But again, if there's one that you want to recommend me, I will go ahead and watch it. And again, if you have your own list, put it in the comment section. I would love to see how ours differ or how ours are the same. If you want to keep listening to stuff from Chibi no Podcast, please go to Podomatic and go to Chibi no Podcast. Like our Facebook page, Chibi no Podcast. And again, subscribe to our channel, Chibi Podcast, here for reviews, for different discussions and whatnot. So thank you so much for listening. Have a happy new year. This is David the Smash Fan from Chibi no Podcast, and I'm out.